Hiya, this is just a little bit of a showcase or introduction to using AI agents. So you might be familiar with the idea of using ChatGPT and consulting an AI large language model, asking it some questions and then getting a decent answer. What I'm going to do today is look at using AI agents, so multiple large language models that are going to all work together like a team to accomplish a task that I set them. So what I'm going to do in this task is I want to create a guide for students on JavaScript. So this could be anything, something to do with code programming, but this is going to be my task for today, and I'm going to get the AI agents to do some research on this topic. I'm then going to get them to create me a student-friendly, easy-to-use guide, and then I'm going to get them to read the guide and then produce me a set of questions on that guide. So the way this works is, first of all, we define some tasks, and these are defined in English. So we've got a research task, so conduct the research about this topic, which is JavaScript, to make a beginner guide. Make sure you include some basic examples and common code tasks. The output of that will be a getting started guide for JavaScript with clear examples. That initial research will be then passed on to a reviewer who will review it and expand the topics and make it easy to follow. They will structure it with some good examples. Beginners. They will make clear examples and they will format it and use keywords and output that as a document that I can easily make into a PDF. Once that guide is created, we will then pass it on to the assessor, who will read the guide and create a quiz based on that guide, and they'll make 10 questions and then they will output 10 answers as well. So expected output, I'm just going to add in something here. The answers may be multiple choice or long written answers or code based answers. Just want to sometimes it does multiple choice and I want to have the option for longer answers as well. So that's what it's going to produce. And to do this task, we're going to use a team of AI agents. So the first AI agent is a researcher who is a senior research programmer. They're going to investigate some basic code for learning on this topic of JavaScript. They're a seasoned programmer and teacher who is preparing lesson resources for this topic, and they can find simple examples of code. Once the researcher is done, they will pass it on to the resource creator, and they will create an easy to read guide on the topic with snippets to help students learn. They're good at creating well-structured guides, and they're known for creating tips and helpful advice. They structure materials in a way that build on knowledge. And then we have the assessor, who will create questions based on the guide. They'll create 10 questions that have been shown in the guide, and they will be easy at first and get harder. They like to structure the quiz so all the answers are first, and all the questions are first, and all the answers are at the end. So now we've got the basic scenario set up. What we do now is we will run this example. Just stopping my headphones from shutting down. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this task And what will happen is it will load the large language model up locally on my machine, and it's actually a coding language model. And the first agent, which is the researcher, will then get to work on researching this topic for me, and then it will prepare a document. Now, it's not going to do it word for word like you might be used to on the with ChatGPT. It gives it us all at once, so it looks like it's done some research and it's passed that research onto the resource creator. So the resource creator will read this and then it will restructure it. So it's done that already. So it's creating a structured answer, and that will have been output as a file. So it's created a lot more content, and now it's passed it on to the assessor, which is going to read the guide and then create these questions, which it looks like it's done. So that will have outputted some documents. So we've got the guide here. So this is output as Markdown, which is a very sort of friendly format that you can use in lots of tools. So I'm just going to view it in a friendlier way because it really does format well for outputting them as PDF. So we've got JavaScript for beginners, what is JavaScript, setting it up, a basic hello world, looking at data types with examples, some stuff like this, arrays. So yeah, this is all sort of the order I would expect to teach it. Conditional statements, loops, functions, DOM manipulation. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good guide for someone who hasn't seen JavaScript before. We've got some keywords and things like that. So from this document, hopefully it's created a quiz. So let's view that. So we've now got a quiz. What is JavaScript? A type of coffee. Yeah, that's a common misconception. So yeah, high level program for web development. Which code editor is not recommended? Probably Microsoft Word. Yeah, Microsoft Word. What will be the output of the following code? Probably not too difficult. Which keyword is used to declare a variable that cannot be reassigned? That's a good question. It's a constant. So this is actually not a bad quiz. And then we've got some quizzes with questions with code. Which of these is not a valid way to define a function? That's quite interesting. So yes, it's actually this one. So that's quite interesting. Yeah. Which will be the output of the following code. So this is quite an interesting thing. And then we have all the answers at the end. Yeah, that's really interesting. So the power of this is that not only can I just change this to Python and rerun it and get a new guide and a new set of questions, I can also build new tasks into this as well. So if I wanted to do additional things like save it in a Google Drive, add it to a spreadsheet, email it to someone, I could also do that. I'm sure there's many other things I could do. And then the agents, again, these agents, you can tell them things, but you can also arm them with very specific tools. Like, for example, I could create an agent that will actually run each piece of code and test it. I could also create an agent who would create a testing suite in code to actually test the code. I could then create an agent who would look at trace tables and doing all sorts of fancy stuff with that code. So I could create a whole package, a whole learning module on this one thing. So I just wanted to share that with you in case you found it interesting and wanted to know how to go about setting this up. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you later.